take questions from you guys, ideas from you all, and I put that into my interviews with these players every week. And something very fun at the end of the interview is I do an activity like Office Olympics, just something really fun. And I don't always win, but that's not the point. Just so you guys can get the chance to see these players as people, not just as guys with helmets on running around on Sundays. It's really cool. So if I have your interest, please click subscribe to my YouTube channel and let me know what you think. How's it going? How's it going? Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe. Today is Wednesday, November the 18th, and the Carolina Panthers are back at practice as they prepare to take on the Detroit Lions here at home in Charlotte Sunday at 1 o'clock. Hey, as always, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, I want to hop on over to YouTube if you have any comments. I like to be called the man of the people, which means I like to work for you. If you have questions for coaches or players, leave a comment below, and yours truly will work to get those questions addressed for you, and put them online. What's up, Chris Johnson? Always the first person on here, man. You got a good streak, man. I appreciate you, man. I hope to cross paths with you soon. Today's update is really, as Wednesdays are, an injury report update. And hey, if you guys haven't done so yet, please consider tuning in, checking out the pregame show, which is an hour and a half before the game. So that's 11:30 a.m. on Sunday. I'll go through a lot of good facts and details about the game and what to watch for coming up. All right, so today is headlines are really mostly injury reports, so I'm going to be flashing it up a lot and talking to you guys about that. And then I got some other stuff related to COVID-19 that is affecting the league that we're also going to touch over a little bit here. All right, so let's go ahead without further ado, get this going. Injury report this is the longest injury report that I will have for you guys this year. Hopefully it gets shorter from here on out, but let's go ahead and take a look at it, and leave your comments, so we'll be sure to talk about it. Dante Jackson, cornerback, toe injury, did not practice. So as I go through this, I'm going to try to talk individually about each person so you guys can start to get ready for this Sunday. So I had predicted or thought that the team would start to be more cautious with guys like Dante because they're part of the future, and right now with the record we have, it doesn't seem like we're heading toward the playoffs. So Dante Jackson was listed as a did not participate in practice today. Coach basically said don't expect Dante to play this Sunday, and he went into further detail saying one of the things is, yes, give Dante some rest, let that toe recover, see how he looks. I mean, there's a chance that he'll play on Sunday, but for the most part, let it heal. And Troy Pride, who comes in for Dante, what Coach Rule has seen is that when Troy knows that he's going to play and he's able to prepare for that all week, that they've seen some better results from him than they feel like when they just throw him in the action. So it's also an attempt to get some better production out of Troy as he looks to likely be the starter in place of Dante Jackson this week coming up versus the Lions. Christian McCaffrey, running back, shoulder. Again, there's stories with each one of these, and I hope you all can understand that sometimes the coaches just aren't wanting to show their hand, which is something I understand, something I just try to communicate with you all when you might be aware that that's happening. Coach talked Monday about Christian McCaffrey looking good and, planning on doing the same thing as usual. And then come Wednesday today, early this morning, he's listed as out for the week, and it's Wednesday. You got a few more days to go before you could put that guy out. Now, they said that it was a conversation between Christian and a combination between Christian's feedback and the doctors about having him sit out and his body not being ready. Take for that what you will. Here's my take on that. If Christian was good last week and he didn't play this Sunday, why would he not continue to progress and practice and play this week? My feeling is that the team is just going into this mode of being very protective on their assets, on players who are going to be big role players in the future, and just limiting their action and limiting their liabilities to get hurt. So to me, that's the only thing that makes sense about bringing Christian McCaffrey out on a Wednesday morning. And he hadn't even ran through anything yet, and he said there weren't any setbacks. So there's my 2 cents on that. Let's continue on through everything here. John Miller, guard, knee, slash ankle. He did not practice. Tahir Whitehead, he was not practicing today because of his ribs. And then Teddy Bridgewater, which again brings me back to the same thing I just talked about with these coaches. Hey, you gotta just look at everything from all angles. They signed a new guy the other day, which I'm gonna talk to you about. He's from the Saints on the practice squad. He's like he was a quarterback in college, was drafted as a tight end. Carolina Panthers listed him as a quarterback. I strongly believe this guy's probably getting quarterback snaps and just getting familiar with the system, just in case they need to protect Teddy a little bit longer. They got that emergency situation with the guy that's sitting there on the practice squad with the guy that they just picked up. So Teddy Bridgewater was limited in practice today. Couldn't say whether or not that he was going to go, but I will share this, and again, my 2 cents for you guys to think about as you will. For the first time all season, I saw Will Grier, and then the media had a chance to speak with PJ Walker. Now, the fact that both of them were available today, to me, that's a little bit of a move just to not tip their hand towards which guy may be starting this Sunday. But to me, it does say that we're likely not going to see Teddy Bridgewater this Sunday because of all the attention, if you will, that's been given to that position. And with all the players that did not practice today or did not participate, I just think that they're just trying to be safe. Now, are they tanking? Because I know some people start to say, hey, let's go ahead and tank and let's get a high draft pick and let's get another quarterback, a good guy out. I strongly don't feel like Matt Rule is the guy to say let's tank. He has said every day that he's here to win now. He has banners plastered all around the facility talking about, dang it, I forget the exact phrase, but basically the next game is the most important game. 1-0. And so I'm sure that's what I strongly feel is the case, and the message for the team going forward. Like I said, longest by far. Sam Franklin with an ankle, he was limited. Yetur Gross-Matos was limited with his shoulder. Marquise Haynes was limited with a shoulder. Chris Manhertz was limited with a shoulder. I just now realized this as we're going through this, man. We got a lot of shoulder injuries going on right now, but we'll be all right. Continuing on, sorry, hit some wrong buttons here. Russell Okung, he was limited in practice with his calf injury. So one person that I did not name was running back Mike Davis. He was not listed at all on the injury report, which is a good thing because, you know, it seemed like his thumb or something was hurting him pretty bad on the game Sunday. He came out for quite a while before coming back in. So that's a very positive sign that Mike Davis will be 100% this Sunday. Now, continuing on with some of the highlights from talking with players and coaches today, it was discussed about Curtis Samuel and hey, maybe get him more involved, more balanced in that backfield to help Mike Davis and have some kind of balance attack because he's been pretty effective as they moved him around a lot lately. And coach indicated that they would continue to take advantage of the athletic ability and talent of Curtis Samuel, but they won't put him back there a lot and really designate him as a running back because of his size. He's not a 200-pound plus guy. He can take a beating, but you just don't want to beat him up a lot. And then also, if you beat him up a lot and he gets injured, you're also shorting yourself as a wide receiver. And that is tough because, you know, they actually have their 3 wide receivers are the top 3 combo in the league, which is something I didn't realize until this past Sunday. I knew that DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson was currently ranking, I believe, 3 overall as far as a duo, but we actually have the top 3 wide receiver combo. So they don't want to lose that, and we'll continue to give a pretty good balance to Curtis Samuel. That really takes me through all of the highlights from today. And then the last thing I want to touch on with you guys is NFL today announced that all team protocol for COVID. And, you know, it seems like it couldn't have come at a better time. You know, a lot of times we have our own opinions about mask off, mask on type of thing, but the NFL is trying to protect their assets they have now issued the intensive COVID protocols from now throughout the entire rest of the season. Obviously, an attempt to get ahead of their players getting affected by the virus and affecting schedules and having to change things like that around. So, and also a big thing, a reason for this, the commissioner mentioned that Thanksgiving is coming up, and basically these restrictions will prevent and remind guys to not go out and travel. And they're used to not having big Thanksgiving plans because of football. Most of these guys have been playing football all their life, but this just again put some extra measures in there for those guys to stay safe. But let me go over some of the highlights of that COVID-19 protocol. All players in meals for all players will be grab and go, and that's just again to reduce people touching things and possibly spreading this thing. And even the locker room usage is discouraged during this time. Shower times are cut down, and they're limited to how many people can be in the locker room, how many people can be in the weight room, things like that.